Hello and welcome to On the Sofa with Simi, the brains behind Bellissimi Beauty. This is a safe space where I'll be sharing and discussing all things related to marriage, motherhood, makeup, and everything in between for women in their 20s, 30s, and 40s. So, if you don't already know me, I'm your host Simi. I have over 10 years of experience in the beauty industry, specifically in makeup, aesthetics, and microblading. In those 10 years, I've gone from traveling the world doing makeup and basically living the dream to almost giving up during the pandemic to then becoming a wife and a mum in my early 30s. I'm here to share all my knowledge, tips and tricks that I've learned along the way, just like the best friend you never knew you needed. So grab a cuppa, get cozy, and let's sit on this sofa and have a chat. And with that, let's get right into this week's episode. So, hello everyone. It has been quite a while since I've recorded a podcast episode. I don't know why, there was just something in me that was really kind of anxious towards the end of last year. I'll get into this a bit later, but I spoke to a few of you online. I did a poll on what you want to hear from me going forward. And again, I was umming and ahhing about what do I share, what do I not share. So it kind of brought me full circle again. As you know, when I started this podcast, I was like, right, it's going to be about me, behind the scenes, motherhood, marriage, makeup, that's my tagline. And then I kind of pivoted a bit into more of the treatment side of things, talking about certain treatments, what to expect, what not to expect, what to do, what not to do. And yeah, people like them. But I really, really got overwhelming feedback on people kind of just wanting to know about me. So I guess, yeah, that's kind of where I am right now. And I'm starting 2025. By the time I get this episode out, I guess, on a new perspective. So these next episodes, hopefully you resonate with them. And if you don't, obviously let me know. But if you do, then this is the kind of route we're going to go down. I am kind of going to talk about my life. I'm really surprised that people actually want to know about it. But here we are. And if it helps just one person out there, just knowing that they're not alone in their struggles, or, even the wins. I'm all about celebrating the wins too, whether they're mine or they're yours. If you got out of bed today, congratulations. There are days when I struggle, so you're not alone for sure. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Let's go back in time a bit. Let's rewind to November of last year. It was pretty tough. You may remember I was on a cruise for my birthday, but sadly we all got ill, and being a cruise, we had to quarantine/isolate. So we weren't actually allowed, never mind off the ship, but out of our room. And Dan and I got ill at different times. So for a couple of days I was allowed out, and then I was locked in. And then for a couple of days he was allowed out. Or I was locked. Whatever, you get what I'm saying. So it was really tough. I actually spent my birthday alone. I say alone, I was with Taryn, and we managed to enjoy the day out in Madeira. We went on the cable cars, which was fun. He fell asleep, so he didn't really enjoy the sights, but I did. But yeah, the holiday wasn't what I thought it would be. But it really got me thinking, about this whole diary concept of filming a podcast, recording a podcast rather, because you'll see all the pictures that I put on, or the videos, lives, behind the scenes stories, and nothing is ever what it seems. And obviously I am very, very grateful and very lucky to cry about being stuck on a cruise in the Mediterranean, but I'm ill. When we are in the cost of living crisis, that's not lost on me. But what is lost on me is this image that we portray of ourselves and the realities behind it, because it never really is, like I say, what it seems. And for me, that's so true. Fast forward from November, obviously Christmas comes up, the run up to Christmas, December, Advent, all the little Christmas events that you get to go on and enjoy, and Christmas markets and winter wonderlands and, matching pajamas. It's all too much, honestly. It's too much. And I really, really struggled. And it's really, really upsetting, because Christmas is the happiest time of year, and family and let's all get the matching pyjama photo shoots by the tree and everyone's looking at the camera and we've all sat there with our eggnog, whatever the hell, what the fuck is eggnog anyway? But that wasn't the case for me. And let me hazard a guess and say it wasn't the case for some of you out there too. And I don't think there's any shame in talking about it. I didn't get the family perfect photo. I didn't get the Insta ready picture with the perfect caption for my business page, let alone my personal page. And here we are again. Why does my business page have to have so much of my personal life on it anyway? And why do people need to see that? How much of me do you need to know? How much of me do you need to see behind the scenes? Like, how much trust is enough trust? How much trust is too much trust? I don't know if that makes sense. But for me, I'm really, really struggling with how much of myself I put out there visually. Like, here, I guess I can talk to you. I'm just imagining I'm talking to my friend. Whether I'm putting too much out there, who knows? This may backfire on me in 5-10 years. I don't know. But right now, I think it's important to vocalize the truths of what we're going through. Because for me, Christmas wasn't a great time. Like I say, I was struggling mentally, physically too. I have had some issues with my health and it hasn't been fun. But again, why am I scared to share that online? And why am I okay to kind of talk about it? It's funny because you all know this podcast is me and this is my voice. And if this ever goes anywhere, people will know it's me talking. But me talking about it, and I'm sat here in my pajamas, I've got like a pasta stained t-shirt, my hair is greasy as hell, but I feel more free talking about it than perhaps doing a video about it, let's say on my stories. Is that because of what I do for a business? I'm in the beauty industry, I have certain standards to upkeep. Or would people respect me more? Be like, oh cool, yeah, she's in the beauty business, but she's not afraid to, show up on her bad days. So yeah, I'm not sure if that makes any sense, but this is the kind of dilemma I'm facing right now internally. I guess on that note, it is a double-edged sword in the fact that Taryn is only 2. So he doesn't really understand the concept of Santa and Christmas and presents. I mean, every time he says Santa, he just says ho, 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 which is like the cutest thing ever. But he doesn't really understand, what's going on. The tree he thinks is cute, the lights, he loves it. But we don't have to do any of that elf on the shelf or, Santa's watching you, you have to be good, any of that yet. But saying that, though, when I look at his little friends, they do all seem to be getting there and understanding. But again, Taryn has a speech and language delay. So we are under some specialist treatment for that. So that could be why he doesn't understand and why his friends may understand. But again, I could go down this rabbit hole of comparing him to other children, and it really isn't healthy for him. It's not healthy for me. So I'm trying hard not to kind of compare. But I'm really kind of enjoying the time that we do have for him in his little baby stage, let's say, where he doesn't really grasp the concept of it, because who knows, this time next year or next Christmas, he will be totally Santa crazy and present crazy and elf crazy, and I'll have to go all elf on the shelf and do all that stuff, which I don't know if I'm ready for. But let's just say it was a blessing in disguise that he kind of wasn't understanding what was going on, because my mental health had taken a right hit. I don't know if I'm ready to kind of divulge the whys of that, but, we had a lot of stuff planned for Christmas, I'm not going to lie. We had, breakfast with Santa, watching like a little mini kiddie theatre pantomime type show. We had going to see the Christmas lights, lots of things. And those days I just wasn't ready. I really, really wasn't ready. Like I say, a lot of that time I spent alone, as much as you can be with a toddler. I was there, but I wasn't there. And that's probably the first time I've actually admitted that out loud, and I'm admitting it to a lot of people out there who, I don't know if you're even interested, but yeah, it wasn't nice, I feel like I'm missing these milestones with my toddler, and I should have gone to these things, but why? In my head, I'm thinking, I should have gone there. I should have got the pictures. I should have tagged us in so people know we're doing all this fun Christmas family stuff. When, do you know what my favourite part of Christmas was? Our snaps. SNAPS. S-naps. Do you know why? Because that's when we'd all sit on the sofa, lights off, Christmas tree light was glowing, we'd have our TV on, and we'd be watching something, and Taryn's eyes would start getting heavy. And then we'd probably watching The Grinch, because we literally watched that about 17 times over the period. But then we'd put these sleepy owls on YouTube, and we'd all fall asleep on the sofa. That's what we call my sofa naps, our snaps. That was my favourite part. But was that Instagram worthy? Was that, a tag worthy? No, not really. But that was my favourite part of the whole of Christmas. Like, what does that say about me? Am I a lazy mum? Am I a terrible mum? Am I a bad mum? I don't know. I felt all those things, but at the same time, I felt content because the two people that matter most to me in the world were just there with me. Yes, we were doing nothing. I don't know. It's really hard to explain, and I'm not sure if I'm even articulating this very well. But there was a lot of guilt there. But the guilt was for the wrong reasons, I think. The guilt was because I wasn't out and about doing things, and I wasn't subjecting my toddler to the snow and the minus icy conditions just to get a good Facebook picture, But then if you aren't posting it, did it really happen? And a lot of my pictures were all looking different directions. The videos were all unkempt, were looking feral. But I guess those videos are for me and not for anybody else. And does it matter if they're not on Facebook? Does it matter if I haven't put it all over the internet? And if so, who made me feel that way? Why do I feel that way? Is it society? And this guilt am I carrying? Is it mum guilt? Is it Insta guilt? What is it, and why do we feel it? And again, this has been a total rambling, and I'm sorry if I've bored you to death. And if you are still here, thank you for listening. But I guess this is kind of going to be the format of my podcasts going forward. I've just decided they're just going to be ramblings in me and my feelings. It's like an outlet. Maybe it's a bit like therapy. And if somebody out there can agree or feel like they've felt this too, or be like, you know what, thanks for sharing, or you know what, you're not alone. You aren't alone. We're never alone, really. But I guess it just takes someone to just stand up and say that. So yeah, as always, thank you so much for joining me on my sofa. I really enjoyed this chat. It wasn't my usual kind of upbeat ones, but do you know what? That's life. 2025 is here. I'm hoping it's going to be better. It's funny because I don't have a resolution. People are talking about a colour for the year, word of the year. I'm just happy I made it alive, and the people that I love are here too. And that's a miracle for me. We started out this year alive, and it can only get better, I guess. The best foundations you can ever build are built on rock bottom. So yeah, apologies if this sounds a bit depressing, but that's the truth. I'm not here to sugarcoat it anymore. So I wish you all well, and I will try and get another episode out more regularly. I'm going to try and get back to weekly. But if not, I will see you in the next one. And like I said earlier, thank you so much for joining me on my sofa. I really enjoyed this chat. Take care, and if I can help, or if you're feeling a bit lonely, please drop me a DM. Lots of love. Bye.